Okay, greetings YouTubers. This is a video on how to use the SMBK, the signal light from Digitrax. And it's this unit here. And it says you can use as is for N scale because it's pretty an N scale size signal, but it's what do you use for HO scale? You could still use this with a couple of modifications that I'm going to show you. So this is the way it is before we start. It looks like one of these. And it looks very nice also. It's very functional as a signal itself, but like I said, it's good for N scale. Not very usable as is for HO scale. So I'm going to show you the modifications you can use this to make a very good looking signal using all these parts. Okay, so now we're going to model this signal with the hood on it. This is going to be our model. So the first thing we want to do is cut 4 wires. We need some 30 gauge wire. What we're going to do is solder those directly to the back of the head, the signal head of this. So when it's soldered on, we're going to cut off this base here. So that's what we'll do now, is solder the wires onto the back of this. Okay, so for this soldering here, what I've got is this hemostat here clamping down on the board and the wire itself so it doesn't move. The top one is the green one, and I'm using the blue to go to the green light. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to do this for all 4 wires actually on this top head right here. So here's a close-up of the solder. All the 4 wires on it. Okay, now I'm going to test them, each one of the lights. Now that I got a solder on, make sure it's okay. There's the green one, that's okay. Let's go over to the red one, that's okay. And let's get the yellow one, that's okay. So they're all soldered on properly. Now let's go on to the next step. Okay, so now that we're going to cut this off, and the reason I didn't cut it off before is the stem gets a good holder to hold this while you're soldering. So now I'm going to cut it off. Make sure you don't cut the wires that you just soldered on. It's good enough, so now I'm going to break this off. I'm going to cut a little bit more. There we go. So we see that? Now we have the lights and the wires just by themselves. Okay, next up. Now we have this aluminum 1/8 inch rod here that we're going to cut about 2.5 inches off. It's about 2.5 inches. Okay, that's done. You want to ream out the end. Get the end on both sides. And now we're going to feed all the wires through the aluminum rod. have that again using this model here. Okay, now for the next step. So this next part is the trickiest part if you do not have a 3D printer. So if you have one, or if you have a friend that has one, this signal head only takes 5 centimeters of filament and takes about 3 minutes to print. So I've made this available, if you can read it on the picture here, where you can download it and print it. So here is the finished product of the hood. Now I'm going to paint it black. Okay, so here is the hood after it's been painted black. Now I'm just going to super glue it onto this piece here. Super glue there. Oh, this piece is just going to go right in there. Just going to hold it there. Okay. Just going to hold it there till it dries. Okay, so this is what we have right here. We have it glued on the back. That's what the front face looks like so far on this. So now, according to our model, on the back side of the hood is this box part. So now we're going to do that part, and we're going to do that with epoxy. Mix the epoxy up. Okay. So now, I'm just going to apply it to the back of here. Fill it up a little bit. Okay, so now we're going to paint the back side silver. And we're going to do the front side black, another coat of black, thicken it up. Nice and black there. Okay, now we're done with the top part. So this is the finished product on the top part. So now over here we're going to connect the wires according to the documentation here. So we'll do that now. Okay, so we started the common wire according to this, and I'll get all the other ones and I'll show you the finished product when it's done. So here's the finished product here. We got the top part with the lights. Solder down to the bottom, and we'll go see if this works plugged in. Okay, so we just plugged it in, and there it is. Let's see how it works. Switching them back and forth. Yellow's on a different address.